from whom they've been sourced, or how they've been produced. We're now in a position where we can express our personal ethical values through our choice of coffee or chocolate or bananas or phones or a whole range of other products. And we may well make decisions prompted by a logo or message on packaging that effectively tells us that we're doing the right thing. More and more goods these days carry the logos of ethical labelling organisations like Fair Trade Foundation, Rainforest Alliance, Forest Stewardship Council, and UTZ Certified. That logo or message, then, is a very powerful marketing tool. In fact, it's big business in itself. The Co-op's Ethical Consumer Report puts the total value of ethical products in our shopping baskets at over £36 billion in 2009, and estimates that the total value of fair trade labelled products alone will top the £1 billion mark in the UK in 2011. Despite the recent economic downturn, sales of ethical products in the UK have actually increased by 20% in the last 2 years. But is there a danger that the marketing edge that the ethical business label gives companies becomes the driving force, rather than the desire to make a positive difference? A couple of years ago, I was sitting on a train watching the countryside go by, sipping a cup of coffee. I glanced down briefly and happened to notice that the coffee cup had a picture of an African farmer on it, and a message. By drinking this coffee, you are enhancing the lives of the villagers of Busamanga, Uganda. Next to the message was a logo for the ethical labelling organisation Fair Trade Foundation, with their tagline, "Guarantees a better deal for third world producers." As a concerned consumer who wants to help poor farmers in African villages, this is exactly the kind of label that I'm meant to look out for. I should have been reassured by it and felt better that I had made an ethically conscious purchase. But I slowly became aware of a nagging doubt. It just didn't sit easily with me. I found myself thinking about some awkward questions. Am I really enhancing these farmers' lives? Are they really getting a better deal? Is it even possible to improve people's lives by buying a certain type of coffee? I thought again about the logo and wondered whether trying to get a better deal for third world producers might be more accurate. It also occurred to me that the fact that something was being done made me feel better about myself. A second later, I questioned whether making me feel better about myself was quite the intention of the scheme when it was set up. Turn on the TV or browse the internet, and you can hardly avoid coming into direct contact with the reality of what life is like for a vast number of poor people in poor countries around the world. The media has given us a stronger connection to what is happening in developing countries. But while events of major political or economic significance are covered exhaustively, we rarely hear the day-to-day stories of the ordinary people who work in the fields or down the mines or out on the fishing boats. How can we ever keep up with what is going on in their lives, or the lives of our farmers in Africa, unless we actually go there to see for ourselves? 6 months after that train journey, I was in Cameroon, writing a piece for a popular travel magazine. For a few days I holed up in a modest hotel along the shore near the town of Limbe. At lunchtime, the menu in the hotel kitchen generally offered guests a simple choice between chicken and fish. Since I was so close to the coast, I usually chose the fish, because I was confident that what was on my plate would be wonderfully fresh. From my window every morning, I could see a local guy called Patrice fishing off the shore from his pirogue. Patrice would always fish in the shallower waters within a mile or two of the black sand beach. I would see him silhouetted against the morning sky, casting out his line, hoping that he'd pull in a nice tuna or a snapper for the chef to serve up that lunchtime. Sometimes, further out in the deeper water, a large trawler would pass along the horizon, dwarfing Patrice's little boat as it